If you were a child suffering from starvation and someone offered you a deal where you have to do their bidding, and in exchange you get your food or nourishment, would you take it? The obvious answer would be yes. That is what I implied Agar Agar's story to be, except that Agar Agar's nourishment seems to be the life energy of other beings. I am specifically saying beings because in the story she didn't only take the life energy from other cookies, she also took it from like general food and that other thing, the brown thing. I'm gonna display it on the screen so you know what I mean. One thing I do have to say is that there's not all that much to analyze because there's not much of her story out yet. There's one story where she's like shown and that's it. But I'm gonna pull from that information. For inspiration, she's obviously inspired by Agar. I mean, it's in her name. She's Agar Agar cookie, so yeah. Agar comes from the word red algae, and that's probably the reason she has these things on her head that look like corals. Also, agar has no flavor, and if you put different toppings on it, it has different flavors. So that's the whole thing with the mirror and her absorbing powers. I think it's like a metaphor or something for it, that she just doesn't have a flavor herself because she's dark for so long. She has her kimono layered right over left, which is really relegated only to those deceased, which may imply she's like already dead or something, which would make sense with her starving, but that like reached very far out. That's like a theory, if anything. I just came up with that right now because it kinda made sense. Agar Agar's monster form is inspired by the Dumbo octopus, which is probably from a pun in Korean because Umu means Agar and Umumun Eo means Dumbo octopus. I probably said it wrong, I am very sorry. I wanted to talk about the loading screens because they also always like have information on them. The first one says, Agar Agar cookie is always hungry, but her friend the crimson colored cookie helps her out. The crimson colored cookie is referring to pomegranate cookie, most likely at least, but it's the only like thing that makes sense. Yeah, that also goes into the theme of her just starving because she's always hungry, and her doing what pomegranate says because she's hungry and pomegranate gives her food. Agar Agar seems a lot like an impressionable child to me who's being manipulated by pomegranate. The second loading screen says, many things are reflected in Agar Agar's mirror. Landscapes, her favorite things and foods, but never her own reflection. In my opinion, that either means her mirror only reflects things with flavor, which she doesn't have because she's literal Agar, or it's because she's translucent. I already said this, the reason she takes life energy is probably because she's Agar and she doesn't have a flavor and it gives her flavor. I've seen someone suggest that she takes it from the Guardians because she doesn't like them, but I doubt it. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure pomegranate just sent her to do it because that gives her food and it probably tastes very good or something. I mean, I don't know if it tastes good, I've never eaten life energy, but she said it has a particular taste in the story, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, she just likes the life energy. Also, I'm pretty sure it's canon that she takes it from other cookies too, because the game description says if you hear a faint eerie laughter and experience an unusual lack of energy, it means Agar Agar cookies lurking nearby, which means that just because she's nearby, she's taking your energy, and that happens to anyone. I don't know if she can control it. I'm pretty sure she can, because Pomegranate doesn't really seem to lose energy, if I remember correctly. The in-game info gives us more than the story, to be honest, just because of the description and the voice lines and stuff. Part of the description says, little is known about this mystical creature who spent a long time dwelling at the bottom of a forgotten well dripping with briny seawater formless shadow-like. Agar Agar Cookie's fate took a new turn when the lid of her well was opened by a crimson priestess. Having gained a purpose from this unexpected visitor, Agar Agar Cookie took on an appearance reminiscent of her new ally. So Agar Agar wasn't really in a cookie form before, she just kinda copied Pomegranate's form. She was a dripping water-like shadow, it says here, not actually a cookie. Yeah, it plays into the she's just a weird monster thing, which makes her very mysterious. Her soulstone description says that if you look at it too long, you'll feel a strange hunger, which I don't know if this means that if you look at her long enough you canonically feel hungry, or if it's just to make the soulstone seem more mysterious and cool. Most of her voice lines basically consist of "I am hungry, please feed me your life energy," but one very interestingly says "Who am I?" in the cookie info, which implies she's having an identity crisis, which makes sense, because she isn't technically a cookie. In her battle interaction with Wind Archer Cookie, it says, "I will not be swayed, I see your weakness." Which I don't know what he means by that. Maybe he means the identity crisis. It's very interesting. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all the information we have on her. I'm surprised I managed to make this video a whole 8 minutes, to be honest. I mean, with the fact we don't really have much information about her, that's honestly an achievement.